Hi, and welcome to this video about being disruptive. If we talk about children who can be disruptive, then we speak about children who behave in an undesired way. But if we talk about entrepreneurs who are disruptive, there's a whole different game. We need entrepreneurs to be disruptive, because being disruptive means you don't settle with the status quo. Being disruptive means you want to change the future for the better, with new ideas. Being disruptive is in a way the opposite of incremental improvements. Many times, even I had it in my career, that I found companies who came into some problems. The revenue went down, or the profit went down, or even they made loss. And they tried to make small corrections, like a little bit more efficiency here, a little bit better sales process over there. And all those small details, in the end, must come to a better result. Most of the times it didn't work. I even had one company, they asked me for advice, and I gave them a disruptive idea. I said, no, we have 50 million from our investors, and we're going to do it the incremental improvement way. 2 years later, the 50 million was gone, and they came back. And then they understood we should have done it in a disruptive way. When Steve Jobs came back in 1997 to Apple, they made a revenue of 6 billion, but a loss of 1 billion per year. When his predecessor took 500 days to find out that the way he operated the company didn't work. Why? The problem was not that he tried to improve the company by incremental improvements, but he had 350 products. Most of them were outdated or too expensive. And what Steve Jobs did was skip 350 products and only focus on 10 products. He knew that nothing was wrong with the company itself. It was what they made and the product they made. So he had to change the business model in a disruptive way. So being disruptive means that you come up with original ideas to solve a problem. Not in a consultant way, like the ABCD process. No, something totally new. Sometimes it is not the process. You can try to gain a little bit more margin or work on the efficiency. That's always good. And entrepreneurs who are disruptive are not against that. But most of the time, it's not the solution for the problem. I once worked for a retail company and I made a lot of loss. The problem was not the products. The problem was not that the stores were too expensive or the employees, and they tried to cut the salary of the employees. They tried to cut in all the costs and they tried to make everything more efficient, but it didn't help. The problem was that it was a traditional retail company and the solution could be to become a platform. So being disruptive means you come up with new original ideas. You change the business model. You find the problem that is really the problem. Or you find a solution that was never found before. But being disruptive is not always easy. You need the right culture and the right people around you to be able to be disruptive. And the reason for this is very simple. Every disruptive idea has an unpredictable outcome. And what managers usually don't like is an unpredictable outcome. And if you think about the word manager, management means control. Most disruptive ideas cannot be controlled. You don't know the outcome because it's new, it's never done before. So the taxi industry, it's as old as we know. And nobody could come up with an idea like Uber. And then suddenly there was Uber. And they are disruptive. And all the big telecom companies, with all their money and all their managers and all their creative departments, they could not come up with WhatsApp. It's because their culture is not disruptive. They want to control and maintain. But disruptive thinking people, they want to change the future for the better. So if you want to be disruptive, let go of the fear of an unpredictable outcome. Create something new. Brainstorm about what is not possible and make it possible. So everybody can learn to become disruptive. And sometimes it's so much needed, especially in times of crisis. In times of crisis, you need new ways, new ideas, fresh ideas, things that have never been done before. Embrace all the scary ideas. Only then you have a chance to be successful again by being disruptive. Be you, be disruptive, and keep on learning.